From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Saturday, June 23rd, 2018. Silver's trading at $16.48 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,269 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $18, and the average price of Bitcoin is $6,151. Antiwar.com reports, according to reports in the Syrian state media, U.S.-led coalition warplanes carried out airstrikes against the village of Jabal Ghurab, east of Palmyra, and not far from the Iraqi border. The attack targeted a Syrian army position and killed one soldier, wounding several others. In addition to the army position, a number of homes in a residential area were destroyed or badly damaged, and the media reported at least 8 people were killed. The U.S. government has not yet commented on the matter. Syrian officials reported a brief exchange of fire between the U.S. and Syrian forces shortly before the airstrike. The exchange of fire was further south near the U.S. base at Al-Tanf, and officials say that coalition vehicles were moving away from the area after the skirmish. U.S. and Syrian forces rarely clashed directly, despite the Pentagon having presented its military presence in Syria since the defeat of the Islamic State as being about ensuring regime change. It would not be unusual for the U.S. to respond to an exchange of fire with airstrikes, though much remains unclear about the incident. For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And as a Bitcoin-preferred business, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports part of a bourbon warehouse collapsed in Kentucky on Friday, causing 9,000 barrels of alcohol to crash to the ground, according to local emergency officials. The collapse happened just after 11 a.m. at Barton 1792 Distillery in Bardstown, Kentucky. The warehouse, one of several buildings on the distillery's 192-acre site, holds about 20,000 barrels of aging bourbon. Nelson County Dispatch Director Milton Spaulding said it's unclear what caused the collapse. He said it was just a regular kind of morning with light rain, cloudy skies, so we're not sure what triggered it. Emergency officials and Environmental Protection Agency representatives were trying to determine whether any of the alcohol spilled and potentially contaminated local waterways. The distillery is located near the Beach Fork River. Spaulding said right now everything looks good, adding, of course, there was a smell of bourbon in the air, but that's kind of common in the warehouse facility anyway. When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more. Reuters reports President Donald Trump urged Republican lawmakers on Friday to drop their efforts to pass comprehensive immigration legislation until after the November elections. Trump, faced with a public outcry over his policy that separated children from their migrant parents at the U.S.-Mexico border, has gone back and forth on ways to solve the country's immigration problems, which he blames on Democrats. By seeking to keep the blame on the opposition party, he is hoping to galvanize support from his base for midterm elections that could swing the balance of power on Capitol Hill. Trump said Republicans should stop wasting their time on immigration until after we elect more senators and congressmen and women in November. Dems are just playing games, have no intention of doing anything to solve this decades-old problem. We can pass great legislation after the red wave. All 435 seats in the House and one-third of the seats in the 100-member Senate will be up for grabs in November. Democrats are hoping discontent with Trump's policies, including immigration, will help them pick up the 23 seats needed to recapture the majority in the House. Their task is more daunting in the Senate, where they need to pick up only 2 seats for a majority, but are defending 26 seats to just 9 held by the Republicans. The House on Thursday rejected a bill favored by conservatives that would have halted the practice of splitting up families and addressed a range of immigration issues. The bill was defeated in a 231 to 193 vote, with 41 Republicans joining the opposition. The House also postponed, likely until next week, a vote on a more moderate bill in order to try to drum up more support. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.